In school, we see several students in a line waiting for their turn to test their abilities, while the teacher calls the young and by. Then the boy walks calmly and places his hand on the magical stone to check his true talent. But the stone soon reveals that he only got a level 3 score, indicating a mediocre magical talent. The boy is disappointed looking at that low number, aware that it is practically a failure. With this, the other students start laughing and mocking, calling our protagonist useless with no talent. At that moment, his girlfriend approaches, flaunting an almost maximum level, and promises to protect her beloved from everything. But he refuses the help and asks the girl not to worry, because he prefers to deal with his own problems alone. Then the boy remembers how he almost accepted living an ordinary life in this world, surrounded by scary monsters. 18 years ago, the protagonist reincarnated in this place devastated by beasts, where most of humanity was wiped out. And to resist this brutal invasion, the world blessed people with the ability to awaken special combat classes. Soon, the warriors split into various types and magical supports, forming the front line of human survival. 3 points is the minimum talent, while reaching level 9 turns a person into an almost invincible prodigy. Back to the present, we see a small fireball weakly bouncing on the ground, causing no real damage. While other mages train destructive spells, the young man recognizes that his current ability is the weakest of all. He admits it cannot even defeat the weakest monsters, and sighs hearing someone call his name again. His girlfriend suggests the boy switch to a support class, just to take care of her items in the future. But Anbai refuses immediately, stating he will follow his own path and become an independent mage. The other students hear the decision and burst into laughter, thinking it the day's biggest joke. The youth simply ignores the laughs while holding his wooden staff and thinking of buying better equipment. Then the girl changes expression and warns that he just lost the chance to stay by her side and should not blame her later. With this, we see our protagonist in the transition hall, talking to a professor responsible for the change ritual. The veteran warns that such a low score means no faction will want to spend costly resources on him. The boy is fully aware his current talent is complete trash by societal standards. But he still has one last card up his sleeve that can turn the game and surprise everyone around him. There is a secret system that will only activate after he completes the transition to the magical class he desires. The professor sighs at accepting the student's stubbornness and asks him to step into the magic circle and receive the energy. He murmurs that the boy is treading a ruined path while watching the ritual begin to glow. At this moment, the youth is bathed in an intense blue aura, finally receiving the baptism that will change his life. The professor's eyes widen, shocked by the unexpected reaction of the spell upon contacting the student's body. Finally, a magical panel confirms the transformation's success, declaring the boy a magic apprentice. And the system notifies that the boy learned his first skill, called Elemental Fireball. The professor sighs, disappointed, saying he is just a basic apprentice and can't even be called a mage. But the youth smiles excitedly, realizing his secret plan finally started yielding the expected results. At this moment, a huge golden panel appears around his body, indicating a hidden system has been activated. The screen reveals it is an affix system, where each level up grants a chance to roll spell improvements. the boy makes his first roll and is bathed in bright light, instantly receiving a rare, explosive affix. He is amazed to see he got the highest rarity, which increases damage up to 100 times with an area effect. Since the fireball is his only offensive spell, the protagonist decides to fuse this new power directly into it. Excited by the possibility of massive destruction, the boy decides to test the strength of this attack right now. For this, we see the scenery change, taking us directly to the huge rocky mountain behind the school. And deep there, our hero discovers a magical portal full of rookie students waiting for the initial challenge. Walking confidently, the boy uses the beginner's outfit he picked up along the way. Soon the other students notice his presence and start gossiping, thinking the rookie came to take advantage of the girl. But Anbai ignores the comments, remembering the beasts in this area were captured and are at most level 5. Holding his magic staff firmly, the boy concludes that this safe environment is the perfect place to test his magic. However, in a moment of pure bad luck, the youth trips alone and falls face first on the ground right in front of his ex. She seizes the situation to offer help, flaunting her advanced class, but the boy bluntly declines the proposal. Getting up and brushing off his clothes, he warns that the girl is simply blocking the entrance to the testing area. Then the girl tightens her own staff, dying of rage for being embarrassed and having her perfect image tarnished. Reaching the portal, the professor warns him to be careful and not ruin the school's long record of 0 deaths. The veteran sighs tiredly, mentally confessing he tried to hide the location in that place, but the boy found it. Without hesitation, our protagonist passes through the glowing barrier, being immediately transported to the dark woods. Walking a bit through the brush, he soon encounters a huge level 1 mutant rabbit grazing peacefully. Hidden, the boy recalls these monsters are common animals altered by the aura of another world. Choosing caution, he decides to start with a surprise attack and begins gathering all his energy into his hand. But the tiny flame flies so slowly that the beast notices the assault and easily leaps to dodge the strike. The pathetic magic hits the ground, causing no damage, leaving even the rabbit confused by the useless attempt. Seeing the enemy's weakness, the animal opens a gigantic mouth full of sharp teeth and charges furiously at the boy. Just as the monster is about to strike, the small flame on the ground starts emitting a dazzling glow, and suddenly a colossal explosion devastates the whole area, proving the legendary affix was not just a myth. Observing the crater, he calculates a 10-meter radius, noting the slow attack still catches enemies by surprise. With this, the boy adjusts his cloak and decides to truly evolve, now that he understands how his magic works. We then see our hero running swiftly through the dark forest, seeking new targets. Suddenly, a massive mutant boar tears down surrounding trees, showing it is a very aggressive beast. Being chased by several of them, the youth smiles, realizing these dumb monsters are easy to lure. Then the mage summons his small flaming spheres, casting spells along the path while continuing to run. Blinded by anger, the beasts step exactly where the spells landed, stepping into a deadly trap. At this moment, a colossal explosion engulfs all the boars at once, incinerating the monsters mercilessly. Sliding behind a tree, the hero receives a notice saying he has slain 16 creatures and gained experience. Soon the entire forest turns into a real warfield. with many explosions lighting up the valley. Quickly, the protagonist reaches level 2, activating the automatic attribute upgrades of his class. Excited by the new roll chance, he asks the system to spin the wheel and gains another legendary affix. But his smile quickly disappears when he notices he got the exact same explosive improvement as before. Luckily, the system detects the duplicate and grants a bonus spin, leaving the boy delighted with this feature. This time the screen shines, revealing an incredible 10 times multiplier affix, which the boy absorbs instantly. Standing near a waterfall, he confirms that identical effects can stack and merges everything into his spell. Unnoticed by our apprentice, a shadow creature with glowing eyes watches him from the bushes. However, the youth simply summons his new fireball, creating a massive sphere of light capable of causing absurd damage.